Hey everybody, this is Terry with Lifting the Veil with Terry and
Rhonda.
I love it when you do that, Rhonda. Anyway, today we have our wonderful friend Michele and Michele Walker, and she's going to be talking to us about all of the craziness that's going on right now. Oh my God. So,
Mm-hmm.
Michele, thank you for coming.
Always.
And
Of course. Thank you for having me. You guys are my faves. I always love talking to you too. So
You are definitely our go-to person to know about. I mean, I've been studying astrology for what 20 years now, and still you blow my doors off because, you have a passion for it, but I highly recommend a lot of my clients to you.
thank you. I appreciate that. But I got to tell you, I think you can study this and study this as much as you want, and there's still more to
Oh,
learn. There's just because then
absolutely.
there's another, oh, there's Chiron, and then there's Lilith, and then there's, and they all affect us is because, like, for example, I won't go down this road, but Lilith is a dwarf planet, just like Pluto is, and these are all very powerful orbs that are out there affecting our energy. So yeah, we can study it forever and we'll never get to the bottom of everything, but it's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
I do enjoy it. So yeah.
Michele, can I ask you to adjust your screen a little bit because you're like right here.
Okay. See.
Just a little bit so we can see your face a little bit better.
Oh, there you go.
How's that?
Ah,
That's
perfect.
better.
That better?
Perfect.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm kind of
Okay,
all
so
right.
we have the eclipse tomorrow.
Yes, the eclipse is tomorrow, and it actually happens at, let's see, it's at 29 degrees Virgo at 3:43 p.m. And this is a powerhouse. I gotta say, well, first of all, we have our autumnal equinox on Monday. And that's going to mark the beginning of Libra season. That's the 22nd. This is going to open a portal of change for us and a real shift of season. But before we get to that, yes, we have our eclipse, and this is probably the universe rarely gives us a combination as powerful as this. It's a 1-2 punch. We've got the huge 29-degree eclipse on Sunday, which is really closing out parts of our life forever, like chapters are closing. And then the very next day we have this powerful equinox, so it's very profound. Together they really bring cosmic energy, shadow, balance, disruption, harvest. It's harvest time, right? All in this rare moment. I really think we're going to look back at this. This is not just oh wow, that's a highlight for the year. I think it's a highlight for the decade or even more. It's definitely a lot of transitions that are happening for all of us. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the eclipse first. And if you want, I'll go ahead and let each individual sign. I'll give just a little bit of let them
I
know
love that.
going
Yeah.
on for them. So
Yeah.
the eclipse season, we're exhausted. Are y'all exhausted?
I
My
don't know.
God.
I just feel like I've been run over by a
Woo.
truck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
And
know.
I'm exhausted, but yet I can't sleep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Rhonda, that's crazy. You and I both. We're both Cancer.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm a
You too.
Scorpio,
You too.
Cancer rising. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's it. So yeah, I knew it was something. And so yeah, it's the same thing. Like I'm sitting there lying down and I can't sleep, but I can't turn it off, but I'm exhausted. It's gonna end. It'll end next week. We'll make up for it. We'll get our sleep.
Hallelujah.
Because I got to tell you, you know what they call Libra energy, lazy Libra, because
Oh,
they're not lazy really, but they're relaxing. They like to take their naps. They're sleepy, so it's all good stuff. So we'll make.
Well, they like to take their time making decisions too. They
Oh,
maybe
drives me crazy.
you
I
should
know,
be
me
named.
too. I dated one. Oh my God.
My
Never
first
again.
husband was a Libra, so yeah,
Oh,
Libra, lovely,
Maybe
lovely man, but
maybe they should be named laid back Libras.
that's better. That's a better thing to say a little more. Well, actually, I'll be honest with you, they're not really laid back. They might appear
no.
to be. They appear on the surface to be because they like to be all balanced and everything, but
Yeah.
they drive an Aries like me and like Terri crazy because we're this opposite sign of ours. So Libra will talk about something and you really think you've got them pegged, like you know what they believe in, right? You know, they're going off on this one tangent, and then they'll say, on the other hand, then they'll talk about then they'll talk about the actual opposite. So they just have such a hard time making up their minds, but that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. But it's going to be Libra season, which is great. But let's start with the eclipse first. This whole September has been exhausting. And the cosmos is not going to spare anyone with this one. Now, I will say if you're a Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, you will probably be more affected than anyone else, but everyone is going to really feel this particular eclipse. So, and also this one is happening at 29 degrees in Virgo. So it's focusing on our routines and our health and our habits. And it's all, you know, I got to tell you, for this particular energy, this is a once in a lifetime bump from the universe telling us pee or get off the pot. Seriously, the universe, you know, we usually manifest during new moons and we do our woo woo, which is awesome. I do it too. But we don't manifest during eclipses because it's the universe comes in and says, okay, I'm in the driver's seat now. You've not been following my signs. You've not been doing what I want you to do.
Yep.
And so and Virgo energy is all about doing. Whereas Pisces energy, the opposite, is about the imagination, and they're a little like, I love them, but they're a little slower on that too. But Virgos, I mean, if you want to get something done, give it to a Virgo. So it's all about, you know, creating order and structure for ourselves, and it's all about taking action. But you know, the Pisces and eclipse the Pisces eclipse that we had a couple weeks ago, that was a release for us and surrender. And it was very spiritual. There's nothing really more powerful than a Pisces eclipse. And now with this Virgo eclipse, it's about grounding us and rebuilding with intention. So expect breakthroughs, you know, revelations, things are going to end. You know, it may be some things that we've been holding on to and we don't want to end, but they're ending for a reason. So let me go ahead and go sign by sign and let you know where this is happening for you, this particular eclipse. So for Aries, it's in the 6th house of health. So if you're Aries sun or rising, it's about your well-being. It's about highlighting your balance between rest and your life behind the scenes versus your service and your daily routines. And, you know, you might be burning the candles. Aries, of course, are famous for this, burning the candles at both ends. And so you have to come to the realization that you come first. And even if it's just like walking around your living room for 5 minutes, take care of yourself, journal, set intentions, things like that. So Taurus, this is happening in the 5th house. So it's about joy and social life, romance, belonging, and shifting in major ways. And this is a great place for Taurus because they're actually Venus ruled, and that's 5th house energy. So it could be a friendship group or a social cause or something like that, but it's about dedicating yourself to your passion, but not losing sight of your goals and dreams. And romantic sparks might be flying as well. So there may be a little bit of romance going for those Taurus people.
Those damn Taurans.
I'm married to one.
Yes. Well, it might be reignite some passion or something like that.
Oh, he can just stay away.
Okay.
I got a headache. I'm not in the mood. You know, I'm tired all the time.
Well, you know, it might be a new hobby. It might be something that inspires them, but that's what's really in store for our little Taurus friends. Now, for Gemini, it's about the home. It's about the home and family and career thing because it's a balance of both axis houses. So, you know, it's a balance of career and home, but also this particular South Node 4th house eclipse for them may bring some changes in the home and family dynamic. They may be positive. It might be new babies or new grandbabies or something. Or it just might be a move, a home move, or downsizing, or upsizing, or a home office or a side hustle. So the Geminis are being asked, don't sleep on your talents. Like let those talents shine, right? That's the big message for Geminis. Now, Cancers, it's all about 3rd house, speaking your truth. I'm a Cancer rising. This is a big theme for me, like a kind of, you know, not shutting up and speaking out, you know, not in an angry way, but in a positive spiritual way, you know. So everything from your belief systems and communication is going to get a big reset for Cancer risings. It could be a book or a class or a mentor or something like that. And travel is also in the cards for Cancer risings and Cancer suns, something that reconnects with your soul purpose, something that's soul purpose. Now, Leo's and Aquarius both, they're all having money stuff. It's all big money, big money. So I know Leo. So Leo risings. Well, it's a yin and yang thing though. You know, funds and investments are up for a review for Leos. Leos are not really known for their budgetary acumen. So it's all about building financial security, and also closing a significant chapter on debts in old ways, old financial ways, because money on the planet Earth here, us Earthlings, is all about self-esteem and self-love. So so we all want more money, but we have to love ourselves and value ourselves. And so that is the big lesson for Leo and Aquarians right now with these eclipses that they're having, and highlighting ways to earn more money. The energy, currency is energy, energy is currency, right? It's just an exchange. Virgos, Virgos. What can I say? It's in your first house, babes. You know, this is it. This is Virgos. You are in the hot seat. And poor Virgos, the South Node the South Node is in Virgo. Now the North Node is in Pisces. So that means that's the direction we're going. But people like to, but the South Node, I heard an astrologer say it, it's really true. It's sort of like the the defecation of the I hate to say it, it's like it's where everything is leaving, everything is changing through Virgos. It's coming out, and Virgos are really having to deal with the brunt of everything right now. So it's relationship themes, but it's also about you know, it's not smooth sailing for Virgos right now. They might feel the need to release unhealthy dynamics with friends, with partners, with collaborators. It might bring some endings to, or maybe not an ending, but some new ways of moving forward. But it's a new era of self-expression for Virgos. And it could also be, because it's first house, it could be upgrading the looks, putting themselves out there and redefining boundaries. Big time for that. Libra, it's all about the 12th house, which is and this is like the hermit house. This is the psychic ability house. This is the dreams. And Libra, it's all about the 12th house. So they're realizing it's all about healing. So it's been they might be thinking about where they're overextending themselves, because they're really burnt out. Whenever you have 12th house energy or sixth house energy, it's burnout feeling when you're having this kind of planetary energy happening. So the eclipse in Virgo is really nudging them for a much needed reset. So this is an opportunity to heal and rest and retreat and practice more mindfulness. Therapy, journaling, you know, spa days, that's a good thing. Libras love that. Now, Scorpios, fifth house of, 11th house. Sorry about that. 11th house, which is all about friends, networks, and humanitarian efforts, and creativity and love and romance as well. So it could be passion projects, something coming to fruition. But the eclipse is really opening doors in their social life. It's actually a very positive one for our Scorpio peoples, because they can meet potential people that could really change their lives right now. So Scorpio suns and risings, I'm looking at the two of you, collaborators. Really, it's going out and really meeting new people, adding to your tribe, because the people that you're going to meet right now could really elevate your future. Because I have to tell you, Scorpio risings, especially in suns, you have a whole new era. It's a whole new era, but you know, you have to let go. You have to let go of the past. You can't hold on. You can't hold on to that little life raft. You have to be brave enough to let go and swim to the big ship, mothership, right? Sages, career, and their inner world, their home. It's all about balancing those two, and family matters and relationships and work could be a sudden shift. So it's all about reimagining their professional goals and dreams and pathways. And they could gain some visibility at work while looking for ways to balance spending time with the ones that they love. So it's like reaching for a new balance. And then Capricorns, ninth house. Capricorns is the opposite of Cancer, so it's still travel, communication, and it's also seeing people and places and situations from a brand new perspective, which is not something Capricorns really do very much. They get kind of stuck in their ways, and they kind of say they figure something out because they're so smart. Capricorns are so brilliant, but they have a tendency to go, all right, I know it all. And then they close it off. So Capricorns have to open themselves up a little bit to some new ways of thinking, new relationships, like let go of outdated ideas. And this eclipse is really an invitation for new horizons, a trip, traveling, something that intellectually stimulates you. Aquarians, like I said before, it's all about money, but this is the big money. So Leo is all about earned income. Aquarius is the eighth house, so it's all about big money, like winning the lottery or IRS or alimony or child support or if you work a job where you get a big chunk at a time. That's eighth house, but it's legacy money and transformation. So it's time for Aquarians to get serious and pay off some debts, save for that rainy day, new income streams, and it's the time that they can bring this in for and call this in for themselves, because Aquarians have a lot of power right now with Pluto being in their sign. Very, very big. And then finally, last but not least, but you know what? Pisces don't care about being last, because last the least of these, right? Pisces, we think of Jesus as being born during Christmas, but the astrologers always say, no, Jesus was a Pisces. And
Really?
yeah, well, that's what they, because actually, if we think about it, they put Christmas just at a pagan holiday, so everyone would celebrate it, right? So that happened to fall on December 25th. We don't know when Jesus was really born. Anyway, maybe that's a controversial thing to say. I hope not. But for our Pisces friends, it's all about first and seventh house. They are in the North Node, so they're in a challenging position, but it's good stuff. It's like really good growth. Poor Virgos, they're dealing with all the after. You know what? It's right. It's like being in a train, but it's open, and then the person at the front of the train is like doing spitballs, and the person at the back of the train is getting the spit on their face. That's what Virgos feel like right now. But anyway, for the Pisces here, though, it's about commitment, partnerships, and that's at the top of their mind. This lunar eclipse is really going to ask them to release old versions of themselves and new self, new purpose. Pisces have a lot of great stuff happening right now. And this is going to really highlight their connections with other people, especially partners, that can support them in the long run. And they are a magnet right now for collaborations. But the challenge is choosing. It's almost like they have an embarrassment of riches, too many choices. So, and poor little Pisces, they get a little. They're like, oh, which one should I go for? Which little shiny bauble should I choose? And that's going to be a difficult thing for Pisces. So they need to take their time and choose that right direction. And that's what this eclipse season is all about. For
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Right.
How long does this last?
Good question. We have the eclipse on the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
You have think of it as throwing a pebble in a pond. It ripples out. It lessens as it goes. It's about, well, this could affect us for the rest of our lives. So that's a complicated answer. But the big kahuna energy is going to be, it's going to shift within a few days, and it's going to take about a week. By the 28th, the angst, the heaviness is going to be gone, and even earlier than that. So, and if you look at the planetary aspects for the end of September, it's just nothing but the moon in Sagittarius. I mean, the universe has given us a wonderful gift of just easygoing energy. So it's it's, you know, other than that Mars Pluto thing that we have on the 24th. So yeah. So that's yeah. I know. But then keep in mind, we're closing stuff out. We're closing the door on things. But then on the next day, we have the autumn equinox, you know, so that's a fantastic thing. It's this is also new developments, new doors. And now, do any of you, like you said, Terri, you dated a Libra once? How many of you do you have Libras in your life? Libra children, Libra stuff?
One of my good friends is a Libra.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Libra season's coming. Libra season's great, and we will feel. You know, the 21st is going to be kind of heavy, and we're going to be feeling some of this stuff. But on the 22nd, when Libra season begins, and we have the equinox, it's a karmic reset. It's a real karmic reset. There's going to be a palpable sense of urgency for change for all of us. We're all going to be feeling it. And like I said, because of this Virgo energy, what's great at, well, ending Virgo energy, it's good. Like I said, pee or get off the pot. You got to do it now. You can't, you know, stop dreaming about it. You got to get off the couch. You got to make it happen. If not, then it's like, too bad, so sad. We're moving on. Train's moving on without you. Yeah, that's good. That's why there's a sense of urgency with it. So, you know, I think plugging into our emotions and desires and longings are going to really steer us in the right direction. And also the Libra sun is going to oppose that Neptune retrograde in Aries on this day. And once again, that's asking us to stop doom scrolling. Stop, get off. I mean, I know, of course, people are watching this on a device, right? So we don't want to discourage that, except for this show. But everything else, get off of it. You know, like take time, and because it's messing up with it's messing up with our dopamine. It's messing up with our energy, and we know how important our energy is. So these phones, we got to let it go. We got to get off of the Facebook, and we got to live our lives. And then 1 hour a day, maybe, you know, I don't know, but it's really it's a time for us that the universe is asking us to just like put a spiritual practice in place day by day, hour by hour, whether it be meditation or yoga or just embracing joy and love and just visualizing that coming from you, and not judging other people. That's the other thing about Virgo energy. They could be a little nitpicky, right? A little critical. And that's the lesson. That's the lesson, is like, don't, what is the biblical saying? Don't criticize the speck in someone else's eye when you have the mote in your own eye. Or I don't know. I think I'm messing up my.
You have a wood in your own, or don't.
Right, exactly. I messed up my King James version with the version. But yeah, like, don't criticize someone else with, like, look at yourself. Look at yourself and just work on yourself, and work on yourself with love and compassion and forgiveness, and extend that grace to other people.
And boy, do we need that.
Oh,
everyone needs to do that.
Oh, this is, I mean, I know you guys don't want to get political, but I mean, you almost can't help it. There's just so much going out there. That's why we gotta, like Terri told me, you gotta get it off of you. You gotta like detach. And that's why we have to get off of these, sorry, damn phones, these things that are messing up with our energy and our brain. They're dumbing us down. Our attention spans are this big now. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to read for 4 and 5 hours in my bedroom and with uninterrupted. Kids can't do that anymore because we're giving them phones to entertain them. All right, my sermon's over.
Well, I tell you, since you know the change in me that I can't sleep at night, I started reading a book, and that has helped me a great deal. I used to watch television to go to bed, and now I read my book, and yeah, so it does help.
It does, doesn't it? It really, and exactly, because it's almost like we can't turn it off, which means that it's messing with us. So, but do you want me to go? I'll just give just a brief, like even briefer, little synopsis for each sign for what we're looking for.
Because Scorpio's coming up too, you know.
Oh yes, and also I want to reiterate that a lot of it, and I'm not bashing other astrologers. I love listening to other astrologers, and I always learn. That's how I learn. I listen. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's a good point. Oh yeah, all right, I gotta write that down. But then when I hear people saying things like, oh no, Mars and Scorpio, intensity, awful, don't they realize that Mars is the ruling planet of Scorpio? I mean, Mars is the ancient ruler along, and then Pluto is the newer ruler. So Mars loves being in Scorpio. Scorpio loves Mars energy. Now it might be a little intense, but it's not going to be all. I mean, it will be have some intensity. We'll always do, but it's not what they're saying. Mars way prefers being in Scorpio than being in Libra. So and also Scorpio seasons. So yeah, so we have all of that coming up, but and just to kind of look ahead, just to let everyone know so they have some hope. October is going to be lovely. We have some stuff happening, but October is going to be a peaceful month, a time for us to rest and rejuvenate, and it's going to be joyful. November, that's another matter. We'll talk about November. We got Mercury retrograde and all sorts of like nonsense happening. But December, for the first time in years, is going to be gorgeous this year because think of it this way, we're taking our medicine early in November. We're getting all these retrogrades out of the way. And when we get to December, it's just going to be like, it's just going to be beautiful. So it's going to be the best December we've had in a long time.
Good.
Good stuff. So anyway, for the equinox, for each person, for Aries, suns, moons, risings, it's about balance between self and others. That's just the big thing. Balance, balance, balance. Taurus, routines, and also a wellness, a well-being reset, mental, physical, spiritual. Geminis, it's about really, and when, we say the word joy, it kind of like has lost its power, but joy is really powerful. Joy is our connection to God and the universe and that power. So Gemini, they're being asked to really connect to their inner spiritual divine joy and creative renewal and love. For Cancers, they love it because it's about home and roots and inner stability, and Cancers really need that right now. Cancers have been put through the ringer, and they're going to be really focusing on their home, and Cancers love nothing more than focusing on home. Leo, it's about communication and making new friends and connections and elevating that. So that's what's happening for them. Virgos, it's shifting to their second house, money, value, self-worth. And like I said, it's that self-love that really brings in the bucks. If you want to bring in the earthly bucks, you got to love yourself and value yourself. And so Virgo is going to be on that train, and they're going to love that. And Virgos, you give a job to Virgo, they're going to be fabulous. Libra, personal power, because it's their first house. It's in their first house. So it's new beginnings for them, personal power, and prioritizing their emotional needs, which sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes, how can I say this? Sometimes Libras can be a little bit of a martyr, oh, I'm giving up so much. Yeah, let that go. Let that crap go. Put yourself first. There's no shame in that. And realizing they're not the same person they were 6 months ago. None of us were, right? 2025 has been a biggie. Scorpio, all about rest, healing, spiritual release. Sagittarius, community, shared dreams, that humanitarian efforts. I would, Taylor Swift is a Sag. I have a feeling this season she's going to start rearing her head with all the stuff that's happening, because Sagittarians are going to be the ones that are out there really being vocal about humanitarian efforts and speaking up for the disenfranchised. And that's about the community. Capricorn, they're going to love it. It's career, growth, recognition. So they're in their element. Aquarius, expansion through learning and travel. That's their big stuff. That's what they have to look forward to. And then with Pisces, it's deep transformation and intimacy. It's about depth and connection with relationships, and maybe expressing compassion and being vulnerable. And forgiveness, not just for other people, but for yourselves. I think Pisces are probably their worst critic. They are harder on themselves than anyone else, but they try to hide it. They hide it under their woo-woo, boho, sweet. I love Pisces people, but they hide that, but they're really They really are critical of themselves, you know, and it's about loving themselves and letting all that go so they can embrace their fabulous new future. So that's what we have to look forward to in
All right.
season.
Or do you want to talk about this mothership for a few minutes?
What is it? It's called the AI Atlas.
Okay.
AI
AI Atlas.
AI Atlas.
Why AI?
I don't know. It's an abbreviation for something.
Artificial intelligence?
Who knows? He's right here. So,
Is it AI or is it A1?
it might be A1. It might be A1 because I don't. I would look it up, but I don't want to. I don't want to disconnect myself.
Right, me too. But
I'll look
anyway, the mothership, how about
But we
that?
all know what you're talking about. So what do you think about this, Rhonda? I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I think there's life form connected to it. I think it's being sent here for a reason because it had like a direct path from Venus, Mars, and Jupiter into us.
It's 31 Atlas.
31 Atlas.
I
Okay.
think it's
31.
31.
Three
No,
I
3I.
three
3I.
I.
3I slash Atlas.
Yeah, three I knew the I was right.
Yeah.
Three.
It's a comet.
Yeah.
Well, but there's no tail on it and it's glowing from the inside. So, I mean, I can't remember the professor's name, but he's from Harvard University. He has been studying aliens and things like that for a long, long time. And he says there's like a 40% chance that there's some sort of life form within that thing.
Hmm.
What do you
Okay.
think, Terri?
I'm hitchhiking.
To be honest, I really haven't thought much about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that I don't know. If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. You know,
Yeah.
and that's where I am about everything right now. It's just sort of like, you know, whatever. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm, you know, gonna just roll with the punches and keep on going.
Gay
So,
sarah, sarah, whatever will be, will be.
There's a great amount of wisdom in that. There really
mhm,
is. I mean, that's what we're really supposed to be doing anyway. We're supposed to be
mhm,
trusting the universe
mhm.
and you know, following what we're supposed to do and, you know, but
And
co-create.
I'll believe it when I see it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
um,
and then of course we I think we always I don't know, we always have a tendency to think that if there is I mean, I'm sure there's I think it's very arrogant to think that we're the only life forms
Oh,
in the
yes,
universe. So
absolutely.
I believe that and if this is I mean this yeah, maybe. But I mean, is it what are the chances that it's a positive or an adversarial
I'm game for anything right now.
God,
You know,
adversarial?
this thing it's traveled billions of light years away from us.
Yeah.
So it's highly intel if it is life form, it's going to be highly intelligent, way advanced than us primitive bunch of people here.
mhm.
So, you know, maybe they have some kind of advice for us or something.
I just don't want them to come down and make us slaves or whatever. You know, everybody's like,
I
"Oh, this is great." Oh, you know, maybe they're coming. They're going to make things better. Well, maybe they're not too.
Yeah, maybe we're going to be hauling rocks or something. I don't know, and be going in their coal mines. I don't know, but yeah,
Well,
I'm
here,
thinking the same thing, Terri.
here's coming from the Scorpio mind. If I'm going to be made a slave, automatically sex slave, and then I'm thinking, all right, well, depending on what they look like and stuff, I might be okay with that, but they're going to have to back some years off of me and make me look a little bit younger. So that's a Scorpio's way of thinking.
Wow, I love that. That's interesting.
You know, I'm a Scorpio rising, and I don't think that way at all.
Well, that's the difference between the Scorpio sun and rising, I guess.
I
Is there a
guess.
difference in that, Michelle? Why we
Oh,
think differently?
yeah, definitely, definitely. I think hold on, let me take a little drink. I think the rising sign is how you appear to other people. And yes, that is a part of you. That's part of your personality. It also depends on a lot of other placements, but who you are on the inside is your sun sign. So that's who you are at your core. And it's like, and I always say, it's like you're a little sandwich between the two. And actually, Terri, technically, she's a Scorpio rising, but she's at such a late degree. She's almost anoretic on hers. She's like at 29 degrees, or 28 or 29 Scorpio, which means a majority of her, I'm just kind of giving away your birth chart right now, Terri. So a good portion of her first house is Sagittarius energy too, which could be why Terri is not quite the same as you. So I mean, we're all
and also why she, runs her own business too.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Sag people are go-getters. They will create a business and they go from there.
We don't like anybody telling us what to do.
Oh, that's a for sure. I know some Sag people, and that is between that and the Aries with you.
Well, I have to tell you, my dad was a Sag, and I love they're the sweetest people in the world. They're so personable. They're people magnets. People are drawn to them, and that's true of you, Terri.
They're very giving.
Yes, Terri, and Terri Rodabaugh, and but they're also very inquisitive, intellectually inquisitive and open, and I love that about them. They're a true Sagittarius is definitely someone who's always searching.
And we're very blunt.
Yes. Oh, put foot and mouth disease for Sages. I mean, they can, and they're the like they're the kind of person that like my father did this one time. Like someone came over and he was only saying this because he was meaning well. Like there was a friend we had, and she was always very gaunt looking, and she was expecting a baby, and she was looking really healthy. And he made a comment about how healthy and robust she was, and he didn't mean it he meant it in a great way, but of course she was very offended, but that's my dad oh, you know what else they have I don't see this about you, Terri, but Sages also have a nickname for everything. They'll say, hey Rhonda, can I call you Ro? Or Terri, can I call you Taylor?
Exactly.
It's like they cannot call, they have to call someone by a little nickname. They have to abbreviate it because you know what it is, because they're so friendly. It's that building, just like
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I have a sister who's a Sag,
Mm-hmm.
and she is nothing like anything you've talked about tonight. I
Oh,
mean,
that's a rising sign.
I love my sister,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't talked to her in like 4 years. We don't get along. So I don't know. I don't know what her rising sign is. I don't know what time she was born.
Yeah.
But she doesn't fit into any of that niceness stuff.
Well, there's always a yin and a yang with every sign.
That's a good point. I'd like to ask you about that. Now, I know some people, the male and the female of the same sign
Yeah,
can be totally different.
totally different.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. There is that the masculine and feminine,
Mhm.
and yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the whole makeup of their chart. You have to really dig deep to take a look at why, when, where, how, because it's not. It's not absolute. It's not like every male Aries is like this and every female Aries is like this.
Right.
It's a little different for everyone.
Yeah.
But there are it actually it's very one thing that comes to mind is Pisces. They always say that Pisces can either be a fish or a whale. They can be a minnow or a whale. And
Hmm.
we all have a choice. That's the thing. We have free will, even though I know a lot of people say we don't. And I think sometimes I do question that because we make unconscious choices and things like that. But we can choose to change. We can choose where we go. And not all of that is just planetary. I mean, some of it it's nurture and nature and where we live and whether or not we live in this country or that country. But yeah, we can choose our elevated path, or we can choose. I have also, Terri, known some Sagittarians that I've not been really comfortable with because sometimes there is something about Sagittarius because of the ninth house, that's their ruling house, is that they can also choose sort of like that all or nothing kind of thinking, sort of almost a cult, that cult mindedness, like they go down that rabbit hole of it's all or nothing. It's here. Like they I've chosen this, and
Yeah, I think she is that way. Yeah.
yeah. And so that is sort of one choice that a Sagittarius can make. But just,
I tell you, all the Sagittarius people that I know were successful.
yeah, because they're popular people. They're popular. They just emanate joy and sort of a lightheartedness that people love and gravitate towards, because we all do. If we think about it, we all want to be smart. We all want to be respected, but it's those people that have good people skills and, like a Sagittarius, that make people feel good. Like, who wouldn't want to be called Tear instead of, who wouldn't want to be called Ro? So it builds that intimacy, which is something that Sages just kind of have naturally.
Well, that, and also they're so successful and they can create a business and become millionaires or billionaires with it. But it's also they take a situation and kind of mold it into their own. So they're in charge.
Yeah.
I've found.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, y'all know some Sages. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend who's a Sag, and she's very sweet. But totally different on the sister. I'd like to find out what her rising sign is.
That would say a lot. That would explain a lot. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Michele.
Thank you guys for having me on.
As always, we love having you, and you always make us feel good, and you give us good advice, and so we're looking forward to having you on again real soon.
Thank you guys.
Winter solstice. We got to have you on for winter solstice.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Well, and also, with November, not to like make myself come in any earlier, but November is going to be a month. So, if you want to.
All right. I guess we should talk to you the end of October.
That's not my favorite month. Let's just take advantage of October.
It's that dang Sag energy.
Well, no, it's actually Scorpio. It's actually Scorpio energy, but that's okay. We're going into the Sag.
It's half and half. Okay.
I wanted to be born on Halloween because, oh my goodness, the birthday parties that I could have had,
Oh yeah.
With the costumes and all. I was born November 8th.
November. Okay. Yeah.
And then I was 6 days before my due date. So I was actually supposed to be born even, further on into November than that. So, and imagine that I can't stand the fall, and yet I was born in the fall.
Aw. Can't stand the fall? Oh,
I hate fall. I hate fall. I love spring.
Oh, aw, wow.
Well, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite.
The only season I hate is winter. That's the only one I hate.
Where you live, though. Yeah.
I don't mind that much, though, because after the winter solstice, then I know that we're gaining light again. I have seasonal depression or whatnot.
Right.
And it has to do with the daylight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need that vitamin D. We have to have that for well-being and health.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we've gotten off track again.
Okay, sorry.
It's what we do.
That's what we do. Well, thank you guys are the best. I love your show. Anytime you want me, just ask and I'm here for you.
No problem. We love having you.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Have a good one.
And your smiling face.
All right.
Well, that is
everybody.
Another episode of Lifting the Veil with
Terri
and Rhonda. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.